Our best stream kind of happened recently. I ain't gonna hold you. It was a blessing in disguise, but T-Pain hopped on by a show of votes. One, if you think yes. Two, if you think no. Let me repeat again. One, if you think yes. Two, if you think no. Should I do a bi-weekly podcast or some type of recurrent podcast with T-Pain? One, if you think yes. Two, if you think no. A lot of the things he said on our stream were very triggering to a lot of people. I've thought about it so much. In the moment, I didn't know what it was going to be, but it was really gold. I listened to the whole thing because I'm obsessive. Like, I'm like, damn, this is really good. I do want to be honest, though. I do not know if that was a one-time thing for T-Pain, because here's the thing. I seen some people say, yo, this reminds me of like Everyday Struggle. Like if you and him link up, it could be great like Everyday Struggle. Let me tell you what happens. You see, I'm a nigga who's just like, I just went on a rant about Joe Biden. Like, I'm somebody who don't care about people loving me. An artist usually lives in a space of being loved. I think it was hard for Joe a little bit when he had to cross over to the side of being critical because a lot of people disliked him. I've lived in that space many times. These days I go on Twitter, I'll be surprised when a nigga agree with me. I'm just speaking my honest opinion. If people are entertained by it or triggered by it, that's their problem. I watched how people reacted to T-Pain's comments on my stream. By the way, he was lit. I was lit. And I said to myself, after reading all the feedback, I said, me and him would make an amazing podcast. And this is the important if he could shake off the fact that people are mad that he was being honest. There's a lot of artists, let me tell you this, I've done Off the Record, I've done Everyday Struggle, I've done On the Sticks, I've done so many hip-hop shows or whatever the case is, and everybody talks great hip-hop with me until the cameras turn on. The only difference between me and everybody else is when the cameras turn on, I'm down to say what I said off the camera. Because that relationship, if I can't be honest about it. And why Joe was so great is that Joe was just down to be honest. Even if Joe pissed off Eminem. A nigga who later would come back and say that he pretty much saved Joe's career. But Joe was down to be honest. The reason why Everyday Struggle when it came to me pairing me with an artist can never be the same, because you won't find an artist that was that influential. And of course, I would say T-Pain had a way better career than Joe. But you can't find that person being honest. So I looked at it and I didn't hit Pain up. Because, everybody has to go through their own processing of the feedback themselves. But I said, if Pain goes through this next 2 weeks of everybody regurgitating the content and reacting to it, and he says, nah, I stick by it, and I'll double down, me and him, we could have a fire show. Like, I ain't gonna lie. Shit, I might do one more podcast with him, but after that, I'm pitching a show. Facts. Not Everyday Struggle like, because I think that's just me and Joe, honestly. But I think there's a different show, me and Pain. But it's only if he could withstand the things that people are saying about him. Like, for example, another thing that with Joe is like, people started getting at Joe that were artists. Like, for example, what I've said about Chris Brown, I've been a huge Chris Brown fan, but there's a point that I kind of change up my tune and say, nah, I said potential got to meet reality. And like all that, he's going to be the next Michael Jackson shit, that shit stopped a while ago. Chris Brown, for the most part, ain't going to be wilding out because I said it. But T-Pain's an artist who's so successful or had success in the game that it's probably going to drum up. And I'm actually surprised that Chris Brown didn't respond at all yet. But T-Pain is going to have those people chime in. And I looked at all that and I'm like, yo, I don't know if he's down to say, oh no, I said what I meant and I'm standing on it. Versus, I thought he would have probably said, yo, nigga, I was drunk. But I love you, Payne. I love you, Chris Brown. And I love you, whatever. See, that's me. I'm not doing that. Nigga, that's what I meant. I fuck with you, though, but that's what I meant. I have zero relationships to protect. Chris Brown has never given me $1 in my life. T-Pain, which I don't know if he's completely committed to just being a streamer or whatever the case is, which, by the way, I don't think have a negative connotation, but shit, somebody can have a conversation with him like, yo, bro, like, you fucking up the money if you say this, because that artist might want to go on tour with you, might want to bring you blah, 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 right? You know what I mean? Might have opportunities for him. So I look at shit like that and I'm like, Payne got to go through his own shit with it. And I'll touch base with him. And if, you know, I'm not saying he got to, like, by the way, don't make this seem like I'm saying, oh, he got to be dissing people. But, like, he was honest. If he could be honest, I ended with this. We're going to get to the Kodak shit. Relax. We're going to relax. I love y'all. Relax. We're going to get to it. I once thought if me and Joe linked up back for Everyday Struggle or an Everyday Struggle like show, will it be the same? The Joe that I ran into when I first auditioned, when I first did the show, Joe was upset about the current state of music. Joe would be like, KD said it recently about, like, I think it might have been about Charles or whatever. It was like, yo, y'all be mad critical of us because we make more money than y'all used to make. And I think for maybe a small segment, it was like maybe Joe was a little bit like, man, fuck these like entitled ass niggas. We used to make less than they used to make, and we used to understand blah blah. So that's why he gave his opinion. These days, Joe makes a shit ton of money from podcasting, from the various things he does. I don't know, after making all that money, will you have the same opinion? Because now you might just be like, well, y'all rappers, I make more than y'all. We've seen that recently. Look how Gilly just talked to Rose. Did y'all see that? Yo, I bet anybody $1 million. Gilly the Kid has made way more money off podcasting than he's made off of rapping. That's a fact.